Hello and welcome to the Discover History YouTube channel, and in particular the Battle of Powick section of the playlist. Now we have now reached the 23rd of September 1642, and if you know anything about the local history of Worcestershire, or in particular the history of the English Civil War, you will know that the famous skirmish or fight at Powick took place today, the 23rd of September, but in the year 1642. So it's dawn. At dawn, Nathaniel Fiennes had heard news that the royalist baggage train in Worcester was either moving or about to move off. Now, if you think back to the first video we did, it was people like Nathaniel Fiennes, cavalry commanders, that were manoeuvring in Worcestershire. And famously, Nathaniel Fiennes found a perfect location on some high ground to the west of Worcester, and he basically sat up there all through the night of the 22nd watching Worcester, and fingers crossed that the royalist baggage train would finally leave the protection of the medieval city walls. Now at dawn, Nathaniel Fiennes was famously told, we don't know fully what he was told. It may have been that they were moving out of Worcester. It may have actually been just that they were thinking of moving out of Worcester. But famously, Nathaniel Fiennes decided to react. And the way he reacted was very simple. He got all his troopers together. He made sure that they had donned their armour, put on their tri-bar helmets, for example, mounted their horses and began to move towards Worcester. His main aim at this point was to cut off that baggage train. They must not reach Shrewsbury. Why Shrewsbury? Think back to the first video. That's where the king was. King needed money, and that baggage train had to get there. He, under the command of the Earl of Essex technically, has been tasked with stopping that baggage train from getting there, and he's going to do it. So he rode off the high ground and he rode down a little lane. The lane we now know as Old Lane, and that lane will lead to Powick Bridge. Powick Bridge crosses the River Team, and if you think back to why we have the Battle of Powick, it's usually called the Battle of Powick Bridge. So it's a little indication of what's going to happen a little bit later on today. So famously, that very morning of the 23rd, Fiennes is leading his cavalry down the lane towards Powick Bridge. He's going to cross and he's going to head to St John's and cut off that baggage train before they race out to Shrewsbury. Let's see what happens next. Stay tuned and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.